Oh, holy shit.
Hey, that guy's got 6 views on that video. Hey, we better do something about this.
Oh, you told me that. You told me that you would fall in love with the ZS.
I think I said I'd have a romantic relationship with one.
Yeah. Hello and welcome everyone. We're KIWI GT. Here we are on the west coast of China reviewing yet another beautiful vehicle of some kind.
Ah, but that's where the magic lies, because you like vehicles, don't you? No, you don't. Andy's actually not a car person at all, but it's my job today to convince him to lust after a station wagon, which I doubt you've ever done before. Maybe in the wee hours of the night.
I wake up, hot sweats.
Yeah. Well, no, so this is actually, well, what happened was our last video of the GLC actually went kind of viral. We had about 18 views or something. I
remember it fondly.
Right? And so I called Mum and I said, Mum, you know, we've made it. I can buy you that heirloom that you've always wanted, you know?
Yes.
So a random family heirloom from a random family. Hope you like it, Mum.
Hopefully a vase, potentially a statue.
Oh, I wouldn't go for a statue. I'd go a vase for sure, 100%.
Okay. Sweet.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, so this is a very special car that we're offered to review, and it's a 2013 Audi RS4 Avant. Avant meaning wagon. I'm not sure where the word Avant came from. It's probably one of those like derived from 13th century Latin or some shit.
It does sound sharp though, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, it kind of reminds me of Avanti, which is like that bicycle brand.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
like
you know
that
what I mean?
actually, yeah.
We should do bike reviews, bicycle reviews. No, we shouldn't. Anyway, so this is a very special car because being the RS4, that RS badge carries with it a certain heritage and prestige, which everything exciting about the car comes from that, and I'll walk you through that a little bit later. But it's also special because they didn't get the Avant in North America. So they all were very jealous of the rest of the world that did get this RS4. They got the RS5 two-door coupe, also a stellar car, but they missed out on the Avant.
What do the forums say? Are they annoyed on Reddit and such?
They're highly inconvenienced by it. Yeah, absolutely. So it's special because of that, but it's also special because it's one of Audi's last naturally aspirated, meaning no turbo, no supercharger, no forced induction, last naturally aspirated V8 wagon that they've ever made, and dare I say, ever will make.
Okay.
Dare I say such a thing, or?
I mean, if Audi saw this video and they were like, well, f you guys, we're going to come back and we're going to make something that's naturally...
Hey, that guy's got 6 views on that video. Hey, we better do something about this.
How much is this going to cost in engineering? 40 million. Oh, let's do it.
So anyway, why don't we take this thing for a drive and I'll unpack exactly what makes that RS part so special.
Let's do it. Let's go. Oh, holy shit. That felt good.
Oh,
that felt really good.
So you're hearing just over 8,200 RPM of V8 power there. Man, just hearing it go that high, you're like, oh, is it going to explode?
Yeah.
You're just not used to cars revving that high. And so, fun fact, I mean, this was one of the highest revving engines, especially highest revving V8s of the period, but kind of ever in a way as well. It's one of its main characteristics of the engine is its high revving nature.
It felt like a Mission Impossible movie for a second.
It wasn't like it sounds so good, doesn't it?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. With this 4.2 litre V8 engine, a lot of people think, oh, it's the same as the S5 4.2 litre V8, completely different engine. Oh, it's the same V8 from the Audi R8, which was their supercar. Not quite. It's more derived from and shares DNA from the Audi R8 with the V10 engine, which is also used in the Lamborghini Gallardo, with 2 cylinders chopped off. It's a kind of a crude analogy, but that's its DNA.
Okay.
And so it really is a special engine. Feel free to continue driving, but what's your first impression?
Oh, I mean, very impressive acceleration. I did feel my entire body making an imprint in the leather. And the sound, man, it's just, that's incredible. Like, what a feeling.
Yeah, right? And I mean, like, what you did just then is kind of like, it captures the essence of this car's characteristic in a lot of ways, because that high revving nature, the sound, the performance, it's all there. But of course, there's more performance to extract from it around corners, and maybe I'll talk a little bit about that later. Okay. But man, what an engine.
Yeah, whoa, what a feeling.
Yeah. You probably don't want to swap back over to me driving, do you?
Yeah, I could keep this going for a little bit longer.
See? Andy, 20 seconds drive is too long of a drive for you, in my opinion. That's why I would have taken over, right? No, I saw you having a lot of fun with flooring it.
Too much fun, really.
Too many fun?
Yeah, and you know what? Too much fun makes one a gun.
100%. Speaking of gun. Oh, man.
Oh, shit, that's a good feeling.
Oh. it bloody fires off like a gun, doesn't it?
It does, man. Those cows are terrified.
Oh, the poor moo-moos. No. Oh man, I just wouldn't get bored of that.
No.
Yeah. Oh my god. So I talked a little bit about when you were driving about how it's got the highest revving V8, or one of the highest revving V8 engines. The end result of being naturally aspirated is that you have this direct connection between the pedal and the engine. There's no delay whatsoever. There's no lag. It's just like you feel truly connected to the engine in front of you, and that goes such a long way in making the car feel special.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I guess that connection to the road is like when you can feel that even more deeply. It's beautiful. But once again, that trade-off that you've talked about previously, right?
Yes.
For different types of driving, that's
well, that's the thing, and this is what, and this is kind of why I love cars, and maybe one reason that you'll start to love them after a while is that each car does have its imperfections and its own character and its trade-offs, and that makes it interesting. And the thing about, for example, electric vehicles is that a lot of the times, especially the performance ones, like they're just so unbelievably fast, and no matter, you put your foot down and they just take off like a rocket, and it's almost a little bit same, and I kind of almost like in people and humans, we gravitate towards imperfection. It gives us character and it gives us personality. So I don't. Yeah, maybe I'm getting a bit too deep with this. But
I've got a personality.
You do not. So there's that connection between the foot and the engine. But the other element that gives this car a lot of its feeling of character is its transmission.
Okay.
So this is the 7-speed dual clutch transmission, and you remember in our BMW video I talked about how that had the ZF.
Yes.
And that's more of a traditional automatic, but a very, very good one.
Yeah.
And the result is that's very smooth around town. Reasonably fast at changing gears and shifting gears, and super reliable.
Yes.
And so with the dual clutch, it changes gears a lot faster. And so if I put it into manual mode, switching up through the gears is almost instant as you touch the pedal.
Oh wow.
And so that adds to that sense of connection that I was talking about.
Yeah.
The other beauty of that is this. I don't know if you'll hear it, but I'll just chop down a few gears.
Okay. Ah yes.
And you don't get that in the ZF.
No. Okay. So what would be what's the latency time in between the gear changes? Oh shit.
You can feel like split seconds.
Yeah.
Split seconds.
And
absolutely.
what would it be in a ZF?
Millisecons more than that.
Okay,
it's within margins, but you definitely notice it. It's noticeable, but it's within whatever. Tenths or hundredths of a second for sure.
Okay.
And so it's hard because there are so many benefits to a dual clutch transmission, but the trade-off does seem to be, like I talked about, it is clunkier around town.
And wear and tear is a challenge as well?
Well, not so much. Well, yes, wear and tear, to be fair. The clutch packs, for example, and these are known to wear, but mostly due to other issues. And so this particular car and Audis with dual clutch transmissions of this period, we're mostly all subject to a quite annoying failure called the mechatronics unit, which would then spawn other failures in the clutch packs, and it ended up being a really expensive, and it would be an absolute buzzkill to have that happen. And that's why we didn't launch the car today, because A, this is a special car, and B, I don't want to be responsible for adding to the potential problems of this transmission.
Oh no, it's the mechatronics.
I am Megatron. I've come to spoil your transmission. but
oh no, it's my arch nemesis ZF.
Oh, the ZF. But here's the thing, like I love the ZF, and most car enthusiasts.
Oh, you told me that. You told me that you would fall in love with the ZF.
I think I said I'd have a romantic relationship with one.
Yeah.
But getting back into something like with the dual clutch, it makes me fall in love all over again with these, because there's just more character. And when this car came out, it replaced the previous generation RS4, of which there was also an Avant, and that you could get in a manual transmission. And so there was a bit of backlash when this came out, having no manual transmission option.
Okay.
But I think having the dual clutch, people very quickly forgave it, because the dual clutch was just that good, in terms of performance.
That's so interesting, because I would say that they're almost the opposite ends of the spectrum, because that dual clutch is very, very smooth, and I would say that a manual transmission is like comparatively clunky, because it's a human operated thing.
Yeah.
So and yet that complete shift around made it appeal more. That's so random.
It was I think it was more the regardless of how smooth it was, they didn't want to give up manually changing the gears, you know, with the clutch, and because there is more of a purist element to that, and you do feel even more connected to the road with that. And in fact, it is weird that I'm talking about how connected this car feels with the transmission and stuff. At the time, people thought it felt disconnected and, you know, quite numb, and, you know, oh, all this fancy technology is too bloody fancy. And, you know, it's weird how time changes your perception of that, because compared to today's cars, this feels a lot more connected, you know, and a lot more raw, a lot more visceral. Yeah. So I think, you know, the naturally aspirated engine and the dual clutch transmission together give this car's performance profile all of its character.
What a combo.
Right?
Yeah.
Like the number 11 combo at the takeaways place. I know you're fond of the number 11.
Yeah, roasties. You gotta love roasties.
Man. Oh, good roasty. Yeah. But yeah, so like I said, the trade-off in this particular one is the reliability of the transmission. But the engine itself is very stout and very reliable.
Yeah. When you talk about that, the naturally aspirated engine and the transmission combo being the thing that sets it apart or makes it distinct. In terms of preference, when you're talking about the 440i versus this, what would you go for?
Oh man, well, it's a hard one to answer because it depends what you want and what you're into. Like, so first of all, if you want one of these, you have to like the idea of a wagon, you know. And some people just don't like wagons.
I love
my
wagons.
wife just likes wagons, and I've tried to convince her to like them because I kind of want one, but she just will not have it.
Yeah.
So you know,
we had station wagons growing up, and in fact, my very first car was a Toyota Corolla station wagon. It's beautiful, manual.
You have an affinity. Oh, you purist, Andy.
I'm all about it, man.
Yeah, well,
I did feel connected to the road, but that's just because there were holes in the floor.
What would I take? Yeah, I think it depends on the day. Like, and you'll probably hear me say this all the time. It depends on what mood I'm in. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the handling capabilities of this car. And you know, I hate being remiss. These are my top 3 things that I hate being.
We want to be remissless.
Yeah. So this car has a ton of grip around the corners, and that's thanks to a few things. One being Quattro, that's Audi's 4-wheel drive. In the RS model, it gets the top of the line version of that. They started introducing like a light version.
They obviously didn't work with Schick razor blades on that one, because don't they have a Quattro product that's a
yeah, 4-wheel drive razor, all terrain.
All terrain.
Yeah. So anyway, the 4-wheel drive system is just renowned for the ability to give you grip around corners. But the addition to that, on top of say a standard A4 station wagon, is what they call a sport differential, which essentially allows it to send different amounts of power to the wheels to help you rotate. And so if you're cornering at speed, for example, it can send more power to the outside wheel to help you turn more. And so because of that, the Quattro, the sport diff, and then the wider performance tires sitting lower to the ground, this whole combination makes this thing handle like it's on absolute rails.
Oh, wicked, man.
Yeah.
Does the weight factor in as well? Does like extra weight help handling or hurt handling?
It typically hinders handling, but yeah, it gets kind of complicated. But generally speaking, a lighter vehicle will be faster around the corner.
Okay.
Yeah. But surprisingly enough, this car weighed around 1,800 kilograms, and the successor to this, which is called the B9 generation RS4, weighed about the same, which was interesting because I thought, you'd figure that they'd make optimizations to reduce the weight, but then they're battling with increasingly stringent safety standards and impact zones and reinforcements and all that stuff that force them to claw that weight back.
Yeah.
But speaking of weight, despite this car, weighing the same as its successor, which is probably a good sign for this car, I do notice that the front end is very nose heavy because the V8 engine itself is very heavy.
How do you feel that? And
you feel it. You absolutely feel it. And the way to feel it is by comparing it to the A4, of which I have driven, that has the 2-litre 4-cylinder engine turbo. And I looked this up, and the V8 in this RS4 Avant weighs 50% more, almost 50% more than the 4-cylinder.
Okay.
And so that's a ton of extra weight.
That is.
Sitting in front of you, in front of the front axle.
Okay.
And you can notice it. So despite it having all of these elements that help it turn and have great handling, and don't get me wrong, it will out-handle an A4 any day,
it carries more inertia at that front
yeah,
end.
you feel
Okay.
that front
Yeah,
end,
yeah.
that front end weight.
Would it cause you to slip out on if you are doing a sharp corner in the rain or something like that?
Potentially, yeah. You
Okay.
potentially run into what they call understeer.
Yeah, yeah.
So it depends on the speed and the entry
Of course,
angle and all
yeah,
that stuff. But yeah, absolutely. But even outside of the performance metrics of its handling, it's more just a feeling thing. I can feel that extra weight, which is kind of interesting, because I'm sure if you had bought this car and not compared it to the A4, you wouldn't necessarily notice that or think about it because you don't have that reference point.
Absolutely.
But coming out of an A4, which I have driven recently,
Yeah.
into this, it's instantly noticeable, the extra
Okay.
weight.
Wow.
Yeah. But would I rather have the RS4 over the A4? Of course, 100%.
Yeah, yeah.
This V8, like I mentioned, having an extra weight at the front, Audi didn't try to hide it. I mean, because it's got these super wide arches that contains the weight. And so I think what we should do is whip out the camera, take a few photos of the outside and talk about that.
Let's do it.
Styling. Let's get subjective, Andrew. Let's annoy some people, or please some people. Let's
I like
start.
to annoy.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's start with the things that separate this obviously from the A4 and the S4 beneath this car.
Okay.
So, I don't know if you noticed, but straight away, an obvious part for me are these flared arches. It sits a lot wider than its counterparts do. And so, mostly noticeable over the wheel fenders here.
Yes.
So those stick out a decent amount. So that extra width, combined with the fact that this sits about 20 mils lower than the base model, and has these huge, big, fat wheels, all of that together kind of gives us this like aggressive, hunkered down, kind of ready to pounce kind of look.
Like a panther in the jungle.
Depends what kind of big cat you're into.
Okay, yeah.
I prefer leopards, but it's up to you. You pick. What do you think? Did you notice that at all? The width?
I did. I think I more noticed the height of it. There was a little bit lower,
Okay.
but I think the width of it probably plays into that. Just like because it's less contrasted with a car that does sit quite a bit higher.
Okay, you like a bit of contrast, don't you?
I mean, yeah, juxtaposition and that.
Sure,
Those are
sure.
words I've heard.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, look, and I think a big part of that too comes down to the wheels, and so it might not be noticeable so much from the front, but I can tell being a car person, but you might not tell. Look at that kind of thing as the width of the tires.
Okay.
Also, obviously, hints at the fact that it's got some sort of sporting intention, because
Yes.
typically the wider the wheel, it's to try and achieve extra performance.
Yeah.
So, what are we doing here?
We're playing air piano.
Yeah. You've been practicing. You're getting good. This is one of my favorite angles of this car, just the direct front-on angle. Mostly because of what I talked about in that GLC video, the one that got 12 views. The simplicity of the lines and the simplicity of the elements at the front.
Okay.
Most modern cars these days have so many bits and pieces and grills and angles and flaps and all sorts that they kind of overcomplicate. Don't get me wrong, they still can look good.
Yeah.
But this just really makes me feel at peace.
Okay.
But also, it's like I said, with the width and all the other elements that make it an RS, gives it this aggression. And so, seeing this behind you in your rearview mirror just looks so staunch, and it just looks like a performance car.
If someone's following you.
If someone's behind you. Right, well, so if a train is traveling at 30 kilometers an hour and it reaches the station, just like if this car's behind you, it's in your rearview mirror. So what I recommend is that we all sort of stick rearview mirrors on our heads, and sort of walk around and look for these at any given moment. Well, that looks great.
Oh my God, that's an RS4 Avant.
Yeah. Whoa, you're getting good, Andy.
So your favorite, you're telling me like aesthetically, your
Correct.
most enjoyment of the vehicle is when
One off.
either someone's following you and you get to just occasionally look and get the shape,
Yeah.
or if they're coming by you at a speed and you're like, man, that's a great car.
Yeah, well, it's ironic. I mean, ideally, I'd be driving the car, not just admiring it from my crappy car in the rearview mirror. But yeah, it is one of my favorite angles. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Right, coming around the rear of the vehicle, Andrew. So the only obvious thing that sets us apart here, really, are these two oval exhaust outlets. See the shape of those bad boys?
Oh yes,
Yeah,
that is an oval.
that is an
I
oval.
can
Well done.
confirm.
You know your shapes.
Audits.
Also known as an ellipses. Is that correct or no?
Oh gosh,
Have I-
yes, I think that's right. In
Shit.
fact, I think that's the more correct
Man,
than
I
an
don't
oval.
know. I think we should just end the video here. No, these outlets are a trademark motif of the RS cars.
Oh, okay.
So that's how you know it's an RS from behind. If you haven't already noticed the width and other aspects that we talked about already,
yes.
the oval outlets are a good way to tell. Unless someone has fitted them aftermarket to their base model, but
Okay.
that's sacrilege.
It seems to be very well integrated into the entire. Into
Yeah,
into
it
the
is.
rear bumper.
It is. Yeah. So it is a dead giveaway. I personally like it because it is unique not only to the RS compared to its base models, but it's generally quite unique amongst its competitors.
Okay.
So most performance cars typically go with the sort of 4 smaller pipe kind of look.
Yes.
So these 2 large ovals,
Yeah.
you know, even though some people may not like the look of them, at least it's unique. And
Okay.
I appreciate that about a car that is supposed to feel special and unique, you know?
Yeah. Question about that. So with the 440i, the
BMW that we reviewed?
yeah. There were 2 exhausts on each. There was 1 exhaust on each side.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that you quite liked how they hung off the car.
Yeah.
How do you feel about these ones?
How do I feel?
Yeah.
You're asking me my feelings, Andrew.
I am.
Well,
I'm very
they've integrated them obviously into
Yeah,
the
yeah.
surround,
which
is a nice sort of clean look.
Okay.
It depends. I personally am a fan of exhausts that stick out a little bit.
Okay.
But this look is also nice and clean as well. So,
Yeah.
and I think that's in line with the rest of the car's design, which is kind of relatively simple, clean lines. The tail lights are also kind of follow that design ethos.
Yes.
They're not the most interesting.
Was it dynamic indicators like a lot
No,
of
not on
cars?
this model.
not on this
No.
one? Okay.
That's typically the model after this.
Okay.
Yeah, but you know, still good looking.
Yeah.
But yeah, not my favorite. I think I prefer the taillights on the RS5 Coupe, which shares the body with this.
Okay.
But that's subjective, obviously.
Yeah.
Don't be silly with me, Andrew.
I can't help it.
You're being silly. Anyway, this is probably, I know I lied before. I said that the front is my favorite angle and the rearview mirror and all that jazz.
You lied?
I lied. I fibbed. I think the 3/4 angle, this view is probably I know. I'm going to keep changing my favorite angle. Hey, that's
really-
Rory, the angle changer. He's always changing his bloody angles. Nah, but I think this captures all of the elements that make this the RS, you know? So you can see the wider haunches, you can see the wheels, you can see that front fascia that I really like. And all together, it just looks so clean, but also aggressive. Like they struck that balance, you know? It's not trying too hard to look like a bloody Ferrari.
It just does.
It is. Aren't we all just is, you know?
I'm an is.
Take that back. Anyway, and especially if you compare it to its competitors at the time. And by the way, it didn't really have many competitors because BMW didn't have a performance wagon like this. And then Mercedes did. They had the C63 estate, they call it.
In 2013?
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, but the Mercedes, although it had an absolute brute of an engine, and I'd love to drive one of those, I think proportion-wise doesn't look as good as this.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I think this was really, like, at the time, such a steal of a buy because of all those heritage factors that I've already talked about. But the general package all around is just awesome, especially if you're into wagons.
Okay, was it pretty cost effective? Sorry, you talk about the...
Well, I mean steal of a buy in the sense that compared to its competition, it was
Okay.
unique. You know, and the price point, I mean, was expensive, sure.
Yeah.
But if you happen to be someone that liked performance wagons, this was an absolute shout.
Okay.
You know? What do you think of the general look in total?
Yeah, I like it. All of the comments on the flared arches and the lowness and the aggression, I'd have to agree with. I'm actually, weirdly, I didn't like this. I'm not sure if it's a standard feature that this is a sort of a tone different color.
it
Don't
is.
like that.
Really?
weirdly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the cleanness of lines, I mean, we're now living in the era of EVs, and so like that front fascia that you're talking about,
Yeah.
once again, contrast, I think, you know, it's not so, you know, like clean in that as those cars because they contrast with it. But it still does look beautiful.
Yeah.
The
No, that's a
front
fair
grille
point,
is-
man.
is
Yeah,
good.
yeah, that's a fair point. See, I feel almost the opposite in that the EVs having no front grille, and I guess it's because I'm completely used to seeing cars with the grille, they look kind of like odd.
No personality.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, and they kind of drive that way too. No, we'll talk about EVs another day. You mentioned these mirror caps.
Mirror caps. Sorry, I don't know what to call them.
Yeah, no,
Mirror
that's
caps.
mirror caps. This brushed aluminium look is unique to the S and RS, and so it could be an S4 that has that. But it's a little element that sets it apart too, which again I like. I like elements that set it apart that are subtle without being over the top and aggressive. And I think a lot of people appreciate about the RS models in general is that subtlety.
Okay,
So yeah. Anyway, that's the outside. Should we talk about the inside?
let's do it.
All right. Welcome to 2008.
2008.
2008. Well, that's when this model came out. This is
Okay.
this is 2013, but 2008 is when this interior was launched in the A4. Thoughts?
Yeah, a few thoughts. Interesting, they've gone with the same veiny plastic on every single German car since, I don't even know.
Veiny plastic, that's a
veiny
good
plastic.
description.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's everywhere.
It
So
is.
it seems to be stock standard.
It was a sign of the times. I think this has evolved the most from generation to generation, is this use of kind of plasticky materials in the dash. But I mean, aside from that, though, if you were to overlook the veiny plastic, as you call it, I think this interior has held up so well, considering it is from 2008 in the grand scheme of things. I think it looks really good. Like the way it's sculpted and you know, I think there are maybe 3 or 4 things that really help it shine.
Okay.
So one of them is the seats. The seats come standard with what's called Napa leather, which is like a really soft, supple leather.
It is nice leather, for
Yeah,
sure.
it just feels premium and luxury, and the seats themselves are very, very comfortable. And so I think the seats go a long way in doing it. Second is the steering wheel. I mean, the steering wheel is just is beautiful. You know, the perforated leather around the edges, the flat bottom. I think this generation of Audi steering wheels was one of the best. It's just, yeah, nice, clean, simple, but really good looking. I love the steering wheel.
A little bit of texture for you with the divots.
Yeah, that's the
whatever you call
perforated leather. Yep.
Oh, perforated.
Yes.
Okay.
Come on, Andrew.
Okay, yeah.
Everyone knows it's perforated. No, I only learnt what that word was like 5 minutes ago. And then I think the third thing is the sound system is actually really good. Again, the Bang & Olufsen, we've talked about them before. But for a, you know, stock / premium stock sound system, it's really good. It sounds great. Plenty of bass, and it still holds up really well. And then finally, this is not so much to do with the interior design per se, but the technology available is actually half decent in that the driver assistance systems. So it has got adaptive cruise control. It's optional adaptive cruise control. This particular car doesn't have it. Blind spot monitoring. So you know, these are things that we take for granted today, but back then it was, you know, reasonably advanced,
Cutting edge.
Yeah. It doesn't have, you know, Audi's what they call pre-sense, so emergency braking, which would be a, you know, one thing that would be great to have now. But otherwise, I mean, you could very happily own this, you know, in the 2020s and beyond, and not be wanting much more. I think it's only really let down. It's most dated by the infotainment system.
Okay.
That little screen, you know, baked into the dash is getting dated now.
Okay.
As you can probably tell.
I mean, it's got Bluetooth.
It's got Bluetooth, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's got what you need. What it doesn't have is Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, but you can buy third-party adapters to fit that.
Okay, interesting. That's cool. And, you know, like CD player, which I guess is a little bit more standard for the era.
Well, yeah, I mean, CD player, I think visually dates it too, because it's one of those things, you know, it's like if there's a CD bloody player on a computer, you're like, ooh, that's
There's one in here too.
PGM2.
There's a CD player in here.
CD changer. But yeah, correct. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Can I make a couple of observations?
Absolutely not. Go ahead.
All right. What does this mean? It says car. It's like, yes, car mode.
You've got to press that if you want it to be a car. It's got helicopter mode. Yeah. No, that's just car settings.
Yeah, which is quite cool. Another thing, airbag off, passenger airbag off. You know,
Yeah.
like what's the deal with that?
A lot of cars do that. It's just a light that shines when you start the car. I don't actually know what the point of it is, but it's annoying, isn't it?
Well, it's just a little bit like, oh, do I have the option of turning the
Yeah.
passenger airbag off?
No, I'm not going to press that button. Now I'm scared. I'm frightened, Andrew.
And one of the other things that I quite like in a car, maybe a little bit mundane, is just like this thing to hold on to. And I don't know why. I just like to hold on to.
What, you mean these
little
grab
hanging
handles?
downs. Yeah.
I mean, is that special? Is that different? Is that
Not really,
Okay,
but
you just like them.
I notice it when the car doesn't have them. And
Yeah,
so,
okay.
no, just a general, like, tiny bit of appreciation for that. So,
Okay, hey.
thank you, Audi.
You have to have tiny amounts of appreciation for things. So if this was your car, understanding it's now more than 10 years old,
Yes.
the generation itself is 15 years old or so.
Yes.
What do you would this hold up for you? Would you like it? Would you feel like it's a nice interior?
I think I would. I think that, you know, once again, not being really a car person, you know, all of the extra features and all of the extra stuff that's included just doesn't do anything for me, but it absolutely is beautiful, and you know, like, functional.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, beautiful and functional. What more can I ask for from a non-car person, everyone? So that's a win in my books.
You should see my reviews of other stuff. Not beautiful, not functional, thumbs down.
Boo. So, Andy, have I convinced you to lust after this family wagon that can make us wee out of our pants?
Lust after, I don't know, but it's definitely a lot of fun. That not those launches that we did were a lot of fun, and the sound that comes out of this vehicle is a lot of fun. And I can see the practical side of it as well. With the fact that it's a wagon, it could actually also be sort of a family vehicle too. So yeah, no, definitely enjoyed the ride.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it's held up really well considering its age, not just in terms of performance, but also the styling. Like I said, the basic driver assistance systems that are optional. This is a chance to own a piece of history in that it's the last naturally aspirated V8 wagon, like I talked about.
Yeah, one thing I would sort of double down on that from a slightly different perspective is that this car feels shockingly modern for something that's from 2013 and then was designed back in 2008.
So I think Audi nailed this. They really did, and it's such an interesting and full of character car that I give it 35 banana coins out of 6 mango melons.
I'd give it the similar rating, but more like 25 grass blades versus 87 branches,
You're literally looking at
Yes.
what's around us right now.
Yes,
That's
I
like
am.
a kid's move, man. Oh, what a way to end the
and there's
video.
flowers too. I should have pulled that out.
Yeah. Oh, disappointment. Well, we'll press delete.